The Federation warship Imperative shuddered as another barrage of human missiles impacted against its shields. Commander Vex gripped the command console, his four eyes blinking rapidly in agitation. "Status report," he barked. "Shields at 42%, Commander," replied Lieutenant Nara, her tentacles working frantically across the tactical display. "The human vessel continues to advance despite sustaining heavy damage." Vex hissed in frustration. This was supposed to be a simple border patrol, a show of force to these newly discovered humans who had expanded too quickly into contested space. No one had expected them to fight back with such enthusiasm. "What is that noise in their communications?" asked Vex, tilting his head toward the strange sounds emanating from the ship's speakers. The communications officer, Krell, adjusted his auditory receptors. "It appears to be singing, Commander." Singing? During battle? Vex couldn't comprehend it. In Federation culture, battle was a somber, methodical affair. Communication was limited to essential tactical information. The concept of creating music while fighting was completely alien. "Patch it through," he ordered. The bridge, filled with the sound of dozens of human voices, joined in harmonious unity, rising and falling in a powerful rhythm that seemed to pulse with the very heartbeat of their ship. The translation software struggled to keep up, but fragments came through. "Stand together, never surrender, Earth's sons and daughters, brave and true, They're singing about their home planet," said Nara, her voice tinged with disbelief. "And about glory in battle," added Krell. "Their neural patterns show increased coordination when they sing. Heart rates synchronizing, stress hormone levels stabilizing." Vex leaned forward, fascinated despite himself. "You mean the singing is functional?" "It appears so, Commander. It's strengthening their resolve and combat effectiveness." On the main view screen, the human vessel, barely half the size of the Imperative continued its relentless advance. Its hull was scorched and breached in multiple sections, yet it pressed on, maneuvering with surprising agility. Captain Tom Reed of the Earth ship Defiant felt the deck shudder beneath his feet as another Federation beam weapon carved into their port side. Warning lights flashed across the bridge, but the crew's voices never faltered as they sang the ancient battle hymn of the Earth fleet. "Hull breach on Deck 3, reported his first officer, Jack. Emergency fields holding." Reed nodded, took a deep breath, and joined his voice with the chorus as they moved into the final verse. The song had been composed during humanity's first interstellar war, when a small human fleet had faced overwhelming odds against the Centaur Dominion. Against all expectations, they had prevailed, and the tradition of battle songs had been born. "Target their propulsion system," Reed ordered during a brief pause in the melody. "Prepare to deploy the boarding teams." The aliens had superior technology, but they had underestimated humanity's tenacity and the power of their unity. Back on the Imperative Commander Vex watched in alarm as the human ship suddenly accelerated, diving beneath his vessel's main weapons arc. "They're targeting our engines," Nara shouted. "Evasive maneuvers." Vex ordered, but it was too late. The human missiles detonated precisely against the Imperative's sublight drive, crippling the massive warship. As the Federation crews scrambled to restore power, the singing on the communication channel changed, becoming faster, more urgent. "Commander, they're deploying small craft," reported Krell. "Multiple signatures approaching our hull. They're going to board us." Vex couldn't believe the audacity. Prepared defensive positions. The Federation crew rushed to secure vital sections of the ship, but they were unprepared for what came next. When the human boarding teams breached the hull, they weren't silent or stealthy. Instead, they came singing a different song, louder, more aggressive, with a driving rhythm that seemed to propel them forward. The Federation defenders were unnerved by the psychological warfare tactic they had never encountered before. The humans moved as one, their actions synchronized to their battle song, fighting with coordinated precision that belied their supposedly primitive status. Lieutenant Ben Maxwell led his boarding team through the alien corridors, his voice joining with those of his squad as they sang the assault hymn of the Marine Corps. The tradition dated back to Earth's ancient military history. Armies had always marched to drumbeats and songs. In space, the practice had evolved but remained fundamentally unchanged. The singing kept his team in rhythm, regulated their breathing, and most importantly, reminded them they were not alone. Each voice added to the whole, creating something greater than any individual. The aliens retreated before them, clearly confused by the human tactic. Maxwell had seen it before. Most spacefaring species found the practice incomprehensible. Battle was supposed to be silent, efficient, clinical. Humans had turned it into something approaching art. Within 30 minutes, Maxwell's team had secured the alien engine room. Other boarding parties reported similar success throughout the vessel. The Federation crew, outmatched not by technology but by sheer human determination and unconventional tactics, began surrendering. Commander Vex stood surrounded by singing humans, their weapons trained on him and his bridge crew. Despite their fearsome appearance, they had ceased fire once resistance ended. The singing had changed again, becoming more measured, almost respectful. "Your ship is under our control," said the human leader, a tall figure whose voice had been particularly strong during the battle. "We offer terms of surrender that preserve your crew's dignity." Vex stared at the human. "How can you sing while fighting? How can you make art from destruction?" The human, Captain Reed, he introduced himself, seemed thoughtful. "Singing reminds us of our humanity, even in our darkest moments. It connects us to each other and to those who fought before us." Later, as the Federation crew was being processed for temporary detainment, Vex observed the humans continuing to sing, though now their songs were gentler, almost celebratory. He made a note in his report. Humans do not simply fight with weapons and strategy. They fight with their culture, their history, their very identity. The Federation had severely underestimated this species. Perhaps, Vex thought, there was something to learn from these strange, singing warriors after all.